Hello everyone, welcome to Steno Aspirants. Get ready for legal dictation containing 720 words without punctuation marks. At the speed of 90 words per minute, the dictation will fluctuate between the speed of 85 to 95 words per minute. So get ready. 3, 2, 1, start. Matter pertains to appointment to the post of Deputy Director bracket law in the other backward class category. Appointments to the vacancies in the aforesaid post were to be made in the Office of Competition Commission of India. The three appellants in these three appeals were also the candidates who appeared in the written test. After qualifying the written test, they also faced the interview. However, their names did not appear in the list of candidates finally selected. According to the appellants, their non selection was the result of altering the prescribed mode of selection midway, that is, after the initiation of recruitment process, which was impermissible. This contention has not found favor with either the learned single judge in the writ petitions filed by them or the division bench of the High Court in the appeals filed by them challenging the order of the learned single judge. Bone of contention before us also remains the same. Therefore, the issue which needs to be decided is as to whether there was any change in the mode of selection after the process of selection had started. CCI had issued the notification through public notice inviting applications for various posts. We are concerned with the post of Deputy Director bracket law, for which 13 vacancies were. Clause 7 of the notification stipulated the mode of selection in the following manner. All the applications received by the due date will be screened with reference to the minimum qualification criteria. From amongst the eligible candidates, suitable candidates will be shortlisted through a transparent mechanism, and the shortlisted candidates will be called for interview before final selection. Mere fulfilling of minimum qualifications by itself would not entitle any applicant for being called for interview. The eligibility qualification experience required for this post was also provided in the advertisement. It is undisputed that the appellants fulfilled the eligibility condition, being holder of degree of Bachelor of Law bracket professional as well as 3 years experience in the relevant field including in the corporate sector. Written test for this post was held on for shortlisting of candidates for interview. Admit card was also issued to the appellants for appearing in the written test along with the detailed instructions including the scheme of examination. Paragraphs 4 and 9 of the instruction which were given to the examinees slash candidates are relevant for our purposes, and therefore we reproduce the same here under. The selection to all the positions advertised will be based on a written test followed by an interview. Written test will carry 80% of the marks and interview will have 20% of the marks. The written test will be in two parts. The first part will be based on multiple choice questions for 50 marks. There is no negative marking in this multiple choice questions. The second part, carrying 30 marks, will be distributed to the descriptive questions on the subject of your specialization within the broad outline of the subject of specialization as indicated in the advertisement. Candidates who do not secure 50% of the marks in the test will not be called for the interview. However, for candidates belonging to the reserved category, the cutoff marks will be 40% of the total marks. Written examination was of 80 marks and the appellants secured more than 50% marks therein. They were called for the interview, which was held on 19th March 2010, and the result of which was published on the website of the CCI. Finally, only five candidates, that two from the general category, were selected. Nobody from the OBC category, to which category the appellants belonged, emerged successful on obtaining the information from the respondents under the Right to Information Act 2005. The appellant came to know that he had secured only 2 marks out of 20 marks in the interview. In this manner, total marks secured by him were 53 out of 100 marks. He also learnt that the respondents had fixed the benchmark of 70 marks for the general category and 65 marks for the reserved category candidates. Since the total marks obtained by all these appellants were less than 65, that was the reason for their non selection. It is this fixation of benchmark which has agitated. Stop. Yes. Get ready for general matters containing 720 words. 3, 2, 1. Start. Sir, the House will remember that over the past few years that we have been demanding a change in the structure of our taxation, and it is only this year we have heard the finance minister announce that the time has come when the tax structure of our country must be changed. What exactly is the change in the tax structure that is going to be made still remains to be seen. Only the other day, on the 3rd November in Calcutta, Mr. Pant, chairman of the Finance Commission, was stating that the financial stability of the state and the central governments, as well as the successful implementation of the 8th 5-year plan, depended to a large extent on a radical change of outlook of the people towards taxation. In that speech, he also made it clear that he would expect the common people to pay more taxes. Now, if the change of structure of the taxation system is to be sought in order to continue to exact the limited savings of the common man, deprive him of the necessities of life, then I would not be in favor of any such change. If, however, the tax structure were to be changed for a policy that would make the rich pay for the eighth 5 year plan, I would be in favor of it. I make it clear that it has never been the contention of the people that they would not bear the responsibility of building up the country. In fact, our workers in the factories are sweating day in and day out so that our industrial production goes up. If today we claim higher industrial output, it is precisely because our men in the wheels of industry have so behaved themselves and have so worked for the well being of the country that despite the mechanizations and intrigues of the capitalist class, despite their greed for more and more profits, it has been possible to bring about a sizable increase in the industrial output. The credit entirely belongs to the working people of our country. Similarly, if in the agrarian sector of our economy the production of food has gone up simultaneously, raising thereby the total national income, that is also because of the fact that the peasants, however poor, however destitute, and however suffering, have responded to the call of the government. It is only because of their devotion to duty for the cause of the country that we are today in a position to claim before the whole world that our agricultural production has gone up. I say this because we must remember that it is the people who are paying with their blood, paying with their sweat for the rebuilding of our country's economy, for the rejuvenation of our nation. Our capitalist friends who regard themselves as the captains of industry and have produced more shipwrecks than happy sailings would please note this particular fact that it is these men, working people, whether in the agricultural sector or the industrial sector, who are responsible for the rise in production, and therefore it is they who have brought about an increase in the national income from which they have been denied their legitimate share. Mr. Deputy Chairman, now we are discussing the question of taxes. The finance minister is in a very chastened mood these days. I think that he is in a very happy posture of mind today when he makes such speeches. He forgets that merely by taking money from the rich, you don't distribute to the poor. We have seen in the United States, in Germany, in England, where heavy taxation measures obtain At the same time, relatively speaking, the poverty of the people continues. Sometimes it so happens that the ruling class, the capitalist class, for their common general interest, which is certainly something broader than the interests of, shall we say, the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, when they promote certain broad interests of the class as a whole, where various factors operate, not merely the fluctuations in the stock market. They are obliged to take certain measures which sometimes even evidently and manifestly hit against what appears to be their immediate interest, but that should not delude us into thinking that the capitalist class in our country stop over.